Hello, good morning, welcome. Well, it's morning here in Southern California. I don't know where you are. Good morning or good afternoon, or maybe you're somewhere really far away. Good evening. Hi, this is Ken here at the Stamps of Life. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Exciting week, right? We are on, whoops, let me switch my camera a little. Thanksgiving coming up, right? Welcome, welcome everybody. Exciting week. Hi, Polly, Grendelia, Gloria, Shelby, Jean, Bonnie, Jennifer, Barbara, Tasha. Welcome, everyone. It is Thanksgiving week. I hope you have some exciting Thanksgiving plans. Hopefully, you'll meet up with some friends or family, something exciting like that. I just went we have a grocery store out here, a chain called Stater Brothers. And usually I don't wait this late, but I just picked up a turkey. And at first I was starting to look at the tags at this one section of the where it's refrigerated and you just reach down and you can grab the turkey. They're all like 15-pound turkeys. That's way too small. And then I swung around, I think, to the other side, and there were the jumbo turkeys. So I picked up a big turkey. Hi, Anita. 26-pound turkey. 26 pounds. That thing is going to take, it's like, it's as hard as a rock right now because it's frozen. It is going to take a long, long time to cook. So I am in charge of the turkey cooking on Thanksgiving. What else did I pick up? I have the potatoes, the green beans, all the stuff for the stuffing. We just use one of those plain old, stuffing mixes, and then I chop up a little bit of celery and onions and add a little extra to it. And I got the little gravy mix. We'll make the gravy with the stock from the turkey. And it's not the gravy mix, it's the gravy color. So we can make a little bit of a brown gravy. So we're ready to go. What are you up to? That would be my first question today for Thanksgiving. What are your Thanksgiving plans? Are you in charge of cooking the meal? Are you going somewhere local to family or friends' house? Or are you traveling? That's another option too. Are you traveling far away, like where you have to get the car out and head out on a highway far away, or maybe catch an airplane flight? What are your plans for Thanksgiving? What are your plans for Thanksgiving? Staying home, doing something local, or going far out of town? Let me know. Add that in the chat. Let's see, what else? So I am shopping. Again, last night I didn't know if I'd be able to find a turkey. Sometimes, there's been some years when if you wait too long, too late, yes, bouquet sauce. Exactly, Bonnie. That's what I got. What is it? It's not fancy bouquet, but it's something like that. Yeah, I've got the gravy color. So some of the time I am afraid to wait so late, but I just been so busy. I didn't have time to go on the weekend. We had the Black Friday program on Sunday, and so I just wanted to go home and rest for a little before we did that. So I kind of waited, and it worked out all right. We'll be eating lots of turkey for a long time. All right, let's see who's doing what. Ruth does all the cooking. So, Ruth, do you host everybody at your house also? Bonnie, yeah, well, we talked about the gravy. Anita says she's traveling to parents about 2 hours away. Great. Big gathering or small gathering with your parents, Anita? Grendelia, we're staying at home. The girls don't want turkey. You know what? I saw prime rib on sale for, I think it was Stater Brothers, for like, I don't know what the grade level is, like $4.99 a pound. So if you want to go for some prime rib, that sounds good to me. Carne asada would be awesome. Some tacos, taco stand. I would go for that. I'll eat turkey, but it's not my favorite thing. Jennifer's going to her brother's house. Ruth, I am getting better. Fortunately, I don't feel bad. I have all the symptoms. So I took some medicine before I started today, and hopefully I'll hold up. I feel a little like kind of nasally or congested, but it's going all right. I am doing okay. By the end of the day, I don't know, it's weird. I start coughing and gradually as the day goes on. I start coughing and going crazy. When I get home, Stephanie's, are you still coughing? Well, yes, I'm sorry. And like the most I cough is when I just sit around the house and do nothing. When I'm busy here at work or just doing stuff, it seems like I don't cough. So it's kind of weird. Oh, let me find my name here. Okay, my name is, if you are new to the Stamps Live. Oh, did I miss anybody? Sorry, I bet there was some more comments. Let me check the comments. Small Grindelia said, Tasha says she has to work. I hope your mom and dad make a nice meal for you. You shouldn't have to work on Thanksgiving. And Gloria's going to a restaurant. Good. A long time ago, I used to work in restaurants. And they would try to give everybody off as much time as they could, but we'd all have to do a little bit of shift, like 4 or 5 hours or something. And it was no fun to work on Thanksgiving. And my parents and my grandparents were in the restaurant business, and whenever it was Thanksgiving or Christmas time, that's when there was lots of work. So it was going back in time and thinking of those memories were not fun. It's like back then we didn't get to enjoy Christmas and Thanksgiving as much as we would have liked to. But anyhow, now I'm not in the restaurant business. I don't have to do catering. All is good. Oh, Tasha works at Quick Trip. Stephanie and I love Quick Trip. We wish you had some of those out here. None in California. I don't think there's any out here in California. Okay, my name's Ken. I'm here at the Stamps of Life. This is called Take Two Tuesday. If you are new, welcome to all of you. Glad to have you here. We only have 23 people watching today. What happened? Last week we had about 50. Maybe everybody is busy traveling, right? Polly's going to see her son 3 hours away, staying at a hotel. Cool. So maybe some people will join us, I hope. Take Two Tuesday here at the Stamps of Life. What we do is we look at stamps, dies, items that we sell here on our website. Some of them, these items are a little bit older. So we call it Take Two Tuesday because this is a chance to kind of take a look at some items from the past. When we do that, it might seem like it's new to you. And then on the other hand, some of you have been with us for a long time, customers with us for a long time. So it's likely that you have some of these items. So this is a reminder or a refresher for you. We'll talk about the items. I'll show you some card samples. We'll check it out on the website. I will die cut a little bit today, and we'll have fun. I have a folded die set, and I also have a collection of stamps and dies going back a few years. So we will spend some time doing that. What else? On Tuesday mornings, I go to a men's Bible study at our church, and we were in Revelation. And just real quick, this is not our devotional time. We'll save the good news segment for later, but we came across this passage towards the end of Revelation where it talks about how God builds this new city, and it's made out of gold and diamonds and all these precious kind of things. And all these things that seem real valuable to us here on earth, but in heaven or in this new creation that God's going to make, it's just like building materials. They use it to build the walls and the roads. And so the things that we think are special here on earth aren't that special when it gets to heaven and this new creation that God's going to make. But for you guys, what I wanted you to know, because one of the other guys said this, he was reading a passage and it came up that, God made you and he made me, and we are one of a kind. There's nobody else like you and there's nobody else like me. We're one of a kind in God's eyes. And you know how when something is really rare, that makes it very special. Well, I want you guys to know that in God's eyes, you are super, super special. And he values you way more than gold or diamonds or precious jewels or money or material things or Bitcoin or any of that kind of stuff. You are super valuable to God. And I just wanted all you ladies and guys out there to know that right ahead of time. If you're watching this video, know that you're special and important and valuable to God, and he really treasures you, and that you're only one of a kind. That makes you very, very special. And maybe the people on earth won't notice, or our bosses or our employees, our family members, they might not notice that you're that special. But remember that in God's eyes you are. And so that's how we need to look at other people too. They're all special and important. If they're special and important to God, then they need to be special and important to us too. So the people in our lives, we need to find ways to value them even more. I think that would be a wise thing for all of us to do. So I hope that encourages and cheers some of you up. It made me feel kind of good today that sometimes the things that I think that are important, they're not really that important. The one thing is being connected to God and knowing that He wants to be connected to me. What else? Okay, so at the end of this segment, we will be in Matthew chapter 15. If you have a Bible and you want to read along with us, we'll overview chapter 15, and then we'll do a passage where Jesus is, again, they're trying to challenge Jesus, and he's kind of getting back at some of these guys who are into traditions rather than obeying God's commands. So we'll focus on that. That will be at the end if you last that long. But let's get started. Oh, let's see what else is new. If you know that this is Thanksgiving week, that means this Thursday there will be no crafting corner. Sorry, I don't have the bump. No crafting corner this Saturday or Thursday. What did I do? Some things are missing here. What did I do? No. Some of my little titles are not where they're supposed to be. Let's see. Maybe I put them in under a different section. Give me 1 second. Let me figure this out. What did I do? Nope. Not there. Nope. That's not good. I have last week's chapters in here uploaded. That's not good. Oh, here they are. Okay. I found it. So this crafting corner this Thursday. We'll be back next week. Okay. I'm going to try to post look for an old episode. So you might see something get posted on Thursday night, maybe after your Thanksgiving meal. You can watch that. Maybe you've never watched it before, or if it has, you can just zoom through it, or you go, I remember all that stuff. You don't have to watch it again, but I will probably post that, okay, on Thursday for the crafting corner. And then we'll be back next week. What else is going on? I do have some other things. If you haven't been on the website, I know probably most of you have been. We have a big Black Friday sale going on. There are 5 new items on the website. And let me switch over there. Whoops, not that one. We are down to, if you haven't shopped with us yet, these are super, super deals. 40% off. And then plus, if you're a club member, you get your extra 15 to 20% off of these prices. So you can see how low some of these prices are. Now, we have sold out of this one. Stephanie told you guys this one was the one we had the lowest of, the mini slimline background. That one sold out, but we still have these other 4 items, and they're all lots of fun. That snowflake is perfect wintertime here. Happy birthday. You can use that all the time. It comes with the shaker bags and a die set and sequins, and that is fun. Stephanie made a card during our video, our Black Friday video. And then we have this new slimline that folds out, and you have a ton of space to decorate and write your little notes in, and that is called a slimline trifold. And for that one, remember, you have to have a really big machine, okay? You have to have the large, like Spellbinders or a Sizzix machine, whatever you use, with the extended and wider and all that stuff. And then the tags are really awesome I'll click on that one. The tags are awesome because it's Christmas time, right? And, if you want to make some cool tags like that, look at all that you can do. So think of Christmas, and then beyond Christmas, anytime you have a birthday throughout the year, this tag set will come in very handy, and they're really decorative and fun. You can see the different ideas, different ways. You can add it to a card front, scrapbook page. That is all on the website. So if you haven't shopped with us yet for Black Friday, check that stuff out. And remember that the Black Friday items make nice gifts too. You need to get a gift for a friend who likes to make cards or is into paper crafting. One of these might be real handy. What else? I'm kind of going long here. Sorry, I have so much to. Okay, we talked about Thanksgiving, right? So I wanted to tell all of you before I have a happy Thanksgiving. Have a great week. If you're with family, friends, have a super good time. I hope you have lots to be thankful for. And what else? I don't know what this one is. Oh, if you're not a Stamps of Life club member yet, we released the new chocolate bar folded die set. It is really fun. I don't have any samples with me, but I do have the set, so I can show you that. You can join on the website. I just shipped them all out yesterday. But if you want to get into the club, I know Faylene's got a stack of these on her desk that are waiting to be shipped to you. So you're going to get, I won't show you the little surprise gift, but you do get an extra gift. If you join the club, you're going to get an extra gift from Stephanie. And then you get the fold it die set. This works as a fold it. It'll create a card all by itself, or you can, again, decorate, add it to a card front or a scrapbook page, all of that. But that's brand new, and the only way you can get it is by joining the club. Comes with a couple stencils in here. And I can't let you see that postcard. It'll have a couple ideas on there, and you'll see more. There's a gallery page for that on the website, too, with the ideas. Very fun set. If you like chocolate, if you like candy bars, it's going to be perfect. And then, whoops, I can't let you see that, but you're going to get this little extra card that there's something special on the back that you're going to want to use. So if you are a Folded Club member, when your shipment comes, make sure you open it up right away. You're going to want to see this card. There's something special on the back, a little thank you from Stephanie and the Stamps of Life from me. And so you are going to want to check that out, okay? Open it up. Make sure you look down in the bottom of your envelope too, so you don't miss your freebie. It should be attached there, but just in case it sneaks to the bottom, don't miss out on your freebie. You can join the club on the website. Lots of fun. I think it's $29.99 a month, 3-month commitment we ask. And there's no extra fees for shipping. You have to pay sales tax, but otherwise they ship out about the end of each month. The chocolate bars are the December shipment, so that just came out. All right, let's see how everybody's doing in the chat. If you have a way to like or do hearts or any of that fun stuff, we would appreciate it. It helps people find us. Okay, so I appreciate it if you like this. Click the like button on Facebook, I think it is, and then on YouTube, sometimes you have to go down by where the comments are, and there's a button that says like or something like that. So we appreciate that. And then all your comments are awesome, so thanks for doing that. And I love for you to participate with me. So I try to read all your comments here. I'm sure I'm going to miss something, but I'll try my best to keep up with you. If you're watching this video at a later time, we'll ask a couple questions here. But you can answer down in the comment section below. We love to have you participate by adding comments then. All right, let's get started. Our first item, this is going back in time. Where are we? Yes, fish tank to stamp from January of 2021. There are 4 different items. We had the main club set, and that would be this one here, along with the dies. And I'll show you this on the website too with some samples. And then we had add-ons. These are called more fish tank to stamp. So you have some extra fish there as well too with the stamps and dies. This is from January of 2021. Does anybody have this set in their collection? Do you remember it? It's been in January, it'll be 4 years since it came out, so it's possible you have forgotten about it. You get a lot. Let's see what comes in these stamp sets, in these collections here. Fish tank to stamp, you get 14 stamps. Let me switch over to that. And again, remember, our stamps are made in the USA. You get the nice fish tank and some of the little guys to go on it with, a couple little sentiments. And we should have some good samples here. Let's look at those. All right, so if you are on if you just type in fish tank, this would come up and you can see your card samples. That's a cute one, right? With the little cats down below. And oh, there's another good one with the cat peeking. Lots of different ways you can use this, right? It's not just a fish tank. You can add little characters to the outside. I saw one where there's a fish tank sitting on a table. That is an extra dice that we have. So it's a way you can just combine some of the different items we have. All right. Now this is the snow globe. Nice card front. Oh, that's the one I was thinking where the little table is there. I have that with me. Thank you, it said. There's a video. We do have some fun facts about fish. Whoops, we don't want to watch that video. Why is that doing that? Let me close that. So there is a video. And then if you scroll down, you see the add-ons. You have the dies there. They all have shadows, which is nice. Here's the add-on set. More dies. Tons of dies. Like, how many dies do you get in these sets? Let me check. This one has 18 dies with the main club set. And then the more fish tank has 17. So you get a lot of dies in these little sets. It was a lot of fun. And let me check out what we had here on the website. Back over here to me. I have the owls one. Okay, aquariums have. What was my question? I thought I wrote down a question about it. Do any of you currently have a fish tank or an aquarium, or did you ever have one in the past? Do we have any fish lovers out there? A long time ago, we won a fish at one of those carnivals. And it was when the girls were little, maybe like 10 and 6, something like that. And our fish lived with us so long, he did get a name. His name was John the fish. And he was a goldfish, and he just kept growing and growing. And I think I fed him a little bit, but Stephanie was pretty much in charge of taking care of him. And I think he was we had him in a tank, and we had to get a bigger and bigger tank. And he lived quite a life. He had these big fins that grew really large. Again, it was a goldfish, but a big, large fins. And he was quite an awesome find for just winning him at a carnival. I think one of the girls brought him home after winning him. And it did go pretty good. But anyhow, we have some information about real aquariums. Now, this is big stuff. Again, did any of you ever have fish? Or, yeah, as a child, Angela, yep. Did you ever win one like at a fair or carnival? You remember where you'd throw the ping pong ball and it bounces all around and it lands in one, you get to carry it around? The rest of the Grandelia had pet fish in a small tank at school, yeah. Nancy, a long time ago. What I remember is when we had the fish, they were a little bit messy. The tanks, you got to care for them and keep the water clean. I mean, it just because I think we kept our tank in the girls' bathroom, and so we didn't have to see it a whole lot, but I remember it being kind of messy. And I think when I was a kid as well that we had some fish, but I don't think any of the fish when I was living with my mom or dad lived very long. So looks like nobody has fish right now. Cheryl did. My mother had aquarium, says Bonnie. Yes. Some people are really into it. And if you go into some fancy houses, sometimes they have really nice, beautiful looking aquariums. Well, here we're kind of looking at our information is about, think of kind of big aquariums where you would go in and you can like walk, not through them, but around them. You can see into the tanks. So think big aquariums when we're talking about the fun facts of these. Okay, now there's some oddball information here, but this is just for fun, all right? It says, if you want to work at a aquarium, the job market is incredibly competitive. So people want to work there, I guess. Okay, because like those big tanks that we're talking about, you definitely have to be scuba certified. I have never done scuba diving. Have any of you done scuba diving? That's where you put the tank on your back and you really go underwater and you can go deep. Well, it says you have to have that certification. You have to have experience, but how do you get experience without starting somewhere? But it says it helps if you worked at a zoo or an animal shelter or something like that. But it's hard to get a job there. Number 2, octopuses can cause mayhem. There's a couple funny ones. Let's see. There was one octopus back in 2008 that was squirting water out of the tank and right onto a light bulb, and it basically caused the light to... Wait. Do I have it? Yes, short-circuited the lamp. I don't know how the octopus knew to do that. And then there was another octopus that kind of clogged up the water valve, and 200 gallons of water poured out, I don't know, out of the filter system. And it says last April, I don't know what year this was, there was an octopus who pulled off an escape. The octopus's name was Inky, crawled out of the tank and squeezed into a 6-inch wide drain. Yuck. I wonder how long he could live outside of the water. But anyhow, that's some crazy stories. If you want to work there, you have to know how to be a plumber because there's water everywhere and all kinds of stuff, crazy stuff happening with the tanks. Let's see. Did you know that the seahorses, it's actually the male? It says the male doesn't really give birth, but let me tell you what it says. A special pouch on the stomach is how a male actually carries the eggs. It says when the fish mate, the female deposits their eggs into the pouch of the male. And then 10 to 25 days later, as many as 2,000 babies will come shooting out of the pouch. Ooh, that is a lot of... Poor guy. I'm glad I'm not a seahorse, the male seahorse. Let's see. A touch tank is not a playground. You know how they let you some of the time reach into the tanks? You got to have clean hands and that kind of stuff. Training marine mammals, it says, is a very time-consuming process. Like when they have the seals or the sea lions or the dolphins that can do shows. It takes a lot of time training to work with them. And then it says that, there's not a lot of aquariums like this, but some of the time they trade animals because usually a lot of the animals that are there are rescue animals, and maybe one aquarium needs one. They'll trade them with another one. They're trying to help the animals and take care of them. They're not usually, it doesn't seem like capturing them in the wild. It's usually animals that needed some extra health care that end up at these. Oh, I did read one funny one. This is the funny one about sharks. Great pains are taken to keep the sharks well fed. So if you ever see the sharks swimming around and the little fish are with them, you think those poor little fish are in big trouble, right? But it says that as long as you keep the shark full, he will not eat the other fish in the tank. So the jobs of these caregivers, the people who work there, are to make sure the sharks stay fed all the time for the good of the other poor little fish, right? I see those fish swimming around the shark and there's just one chomp and they could be goners. As long as he is full, as long as they're feeding the shark, the other guys in the tank are A-okay. So there's some kind of oddball things about aquariums. Maybe if you had one in the past, a small one, but think of big, like if you've ever been to an aquarium that you can visit. It sounds like a lot of work goes into it, and you have to have some experience to work there as well. All right, my samples, and I do have a bunch. Let's check them out. There we go. I have that set up. I think that camera's ready to go. Camera 2, yep. All right, we're going to switch over. And let's look at the samples I have. See if I can't straighten that out a little bit. There we go. All right. And again, like I said, I have a bunch. So it must have been a popular collection because our design team did a lot of work with these cards. A2 size cards. Most of these are A2. This one is really nice. I like that. All the colors in that tank. Again, with our dies, you're going to get the outside die if you like, as well as the inside. And here's a fun one with one of our card front frames. Does it say which one it is? This is called a grid die. We have several different ones, but the grid is this part here, and it just fits right on front of an A2 card there. Here, let me do all the A2 size. Here's another grid size style. That's fun. A shaker. Here's an A2 card with a shaker front. So you just take some of your acetate right here and you take some adhesive, the adhesive foam, you puff it up a little bit, you got a shaker. Here is another shaker. It's got some sequins in there. Very pretty colors. Nice couple little friends on this one. There's a nice window, and that's our window die set there. Is it windows to stamp? One of the dies that went with that, along with the aquarium. You are fantastic. That must be one of the sentiments that are in there. A little hey you card checking in. How's it going? Is nice. And there's, looks like using our snow globe changed into a fish tank. There's an idea for you. I fish you a great birthday. So that's a birthday card. And this one's neat. Kind of different. Hey you, the gang misses you. That's a good one. And a couple extra. There's a slimline. We'll be looking at this one here in the future. This is, I'm not sure if it's called the bubbles or circles, scallop, slimline, maybe drop in, but this is on the website. I've always liked this one for a background here on a slimline card. Maybe it says, no, it doesn't say on that one. And then our last one, this is a 5x7. This was the one, might be missing a piece up there, where they've added our picnic table. I think that's the picnic table folded, a little bit larger one, and then the tank sitting on top of it. So you can see a lot of nice card samples there, correct? I like those. And we're going to move over to the workstation there and see what we can do with these real quick. All right, let's head over. Whoops, not that one. There we go. Got it. All right, I think the sound's working good there. Perfect. We're off to a good start. Maybe if I brought the dies and stamps with me, that would help a little bit. And here we have our collection. Whoops, that's like a sneak peek. I'll show you that one here in a little bit. So you have the dies and the stamps. Again, this was the main part, the club. We'll take a look at those. Those were the extra, the add-ons. And let's see what we can do here. I need a little more light. I don't know why this gets dark some of the time, but I can fix that real quick. So I will die cut a couple of these. And I'm not a great color or anything like that, but we'll see if we can add a little bit of color to them. Again, a bunch of dies. You get the shadow and the outside, and you get the inside of which you could color or kind of paper piece if you need to. But these are pretty small dies. Let's go ahead and do the tank first. And let's see. We'll add a couple colors here to our tank. This part's the easy part. The little guys are a little more challenging only to die cut only because I kept losing them. They try to escape. They try to escape. So we don't want our little dies to escape. Let's see, we can do one more thing here. Maybe we can get our white balance a little bit better. No. That's not good. That's not good. Auto. Let's try auto. All right, that's the best we're going to get on the color today. So we're going to go ahead and run that through real quick. Easy. And save us time. We'll just bring that right back. This would make the shadow, not the shadow, the inside of the, there is our fish tank right there. Probably should have chosen to do black here, but we're going white. And then next, let's do a little shadow for it. And this part is pretty easy. You can cut through these. And then we'll run that through there. And we're off to a good start here. We'll see, we have our fish tank with a background, and we just want to add a couple little fish to that, right? Let's do that. Now I went ahead and I think I cut a couple little guys. So we have those little guys there. And if I wanted the shadows for them, I could also make shadows, make sure I grab the right ones. And the starfish. And maybe I think I have some markers here. Where are my markers? They should be close by. Oh, there's a bag of them. I don't know if I want to do a little bit of coloring. Now again, coloring is not my thing. I bet a lot of you are really, really good at it. But we're going to go ahead and color these little guys. And I need a little piece to put behind them. And I'm just going to go real simple. This kind of looks like a starfish color. Let's see what happens here. I'm just going to color. I don't know if you can see real good. These guys are so tiny. I'm just going to color him in real quick. And we'll layer him on top of a background. That will get most of it. Good. Good. Doesn't have to be crazy perfect here. You could do a little bit of shading if you like, or if you have the tri. I don't have any of the tri blends, but I understand they work really nice on these type of, when you like to color and get the really nice shading in there, the tri blends, right? There's my starfish, and let's do like a blue color on this fish. We'll just color them all the same, but you could get real crazy and, you know, make it really look pretty. These little fish, they're kind of fun. They're so tiny, but the colors will look nice in the tank. I'm just going to color those real quick. And we'll do a couple little of the outlines for them. Again, don't critique my coloring. It's probably not the best. I remember even when I was a little kid not being the best colorer. I liked to color. I think I was always trying to stay in the lines, you know, that kind of coloring. Not so much creative, but just follow instruction coloring. I could do that. But coloring was definitely not my thing. I bet some of you guys are really good colors. So say we had just our fish in there. Again, don't critique my coloring, but you have the options. You can get the colors in there with your little guys. Now this color is supposed to be light green, but it is coming out as yellow. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. That is not right. Something's up with my camera today. So I'm going to try to fix the white balance here. Hang on. Because my coloring is not great, but it's not that bad. Let me try to fix this real quick. Set. Okay, let's see if that changes the... Oh, yeah, see? This is the correct color. Before it looked all yellowish, right? But anyhow, if you have a setting on your camera that does white balance, it can really get the colors right. What you're seeing now is more accurate. Now, if I wanted to do shadows for these guys, I could do that. Let's find the dies, these little dies here, and this little one. Run those through. Again, you can get real creative with this. You can use the shadows if you like, or you can go without them, or let's see, just for fun, let's try like a darker color around them just to do something different. Rather than white, you could do a dark color shadow like this. Let's see how it comes out. I don't even know. I'm used to seeing the white shadow usually around the images that you die cut, but let's try a darker one and see what happens. Again, I think it's just kind of up to you, your personal taste for how you want your card to look. But here we go. We have a layer this one on top of here. That one looks okay. I'm not going to tape these down or glue them down, but you would add some glue. And then this little starfish, and he could have a shadow. So then makes him stand out a little bit more. Let's see, let's rotate him around. There we go. A couple different things you can do with your fish tank. You can go shadows, no shadows. You have lots of different options there. You can add some, I know we have like a sandcastle die set that might look good in there. Now there is also a larger size fish tank on our website that is a fold-it. So if you like that, if you need more space for your tank, that is also an option of different things that you could do with that. Again, you get a bunch. I think it was 14 stamps, right? You get all of these cool stamps in there that coordinate with the dies. And then the dies, I think, were 17 or 18 dies, something like that. And the fish tank was right there. As a fun collection. Many of you might have it. And if you do, I hope this will help you to remember to go ahead and break that out one more time and put it to use. If you're new to the Stamps of Life, it is available on our website. Again, this was originally a club shipment from back in January of 2021. So that's our first item. And let's get back over here. Whoop. There we are. A little too close there, huh? Okay. I think I'm centered in. Ooh, how did I get so close to the camera? There we go. All right, we're moving on. Our next item, let me find that. It is a fold-it die set. See, did I miss any comments here? Scuba diving, yeah. Scuba classes, that would be fun. It's quite a thing. You have to go out with somebody and get certified and all that stuff, right? Let's see. Hi, Serenity, Angela, welcome all of you. Great, welcome, Creative Blessings, Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl and Barbara. Okay, moving on. Let's get this show on the road. Next item is our I'll Fold It from September 2020. So this is another 4-year-old item. It's great. Very, very popular. It is kind of fallish. Now, I do have a video to watch about the owls. So, you think owls are really cute and fun and all that kind of cool stuff, because when you see the cards, and for some reason, we always think of them being lovable or nice or sweet. But it sounds to me like owls are pretty tough cookies. That's what I think. So we'll watch a little video here. I found a short video and some interesting information about owls. Where you live, do you have owls? That's what I was thinking about for a question. Do you have owls where you live? We used to live in a place that kind of borderline, it was very much like a city. And then, or like across the street, it was undeveloped area and fields, and it went up into these low hills and mountains. And at nighttime, you could hear these owls. Well, you'll see in the video, you don't really hear them, but you could feel them flying around. You would see them up there. It'd be really dark in the sky, but they were out hunting. And there were times, I think they were looking for, you remember Cookie, our little white dog? I think they were looking at Cookie as the next meal. So they never got her, and I never saw them swoop down after her, but these owls are tough. You have owls that live in your area. I don't even know what kind of owls they were. I guess there's lots of different species or names for owls. But in general, I always think of them being fun and wise, but we're going to learn they're pretty tough. But where you live, do you have owls? Have you ever seen an owl around in your neighborhood? They're super quiet. They stay still pretty much. They're almost like, when you see this video, they're almost like hawks or something like that. Let's watch the video. I'm going to switch over to that. It takes a couple minutes. but it is interesting, and I think you might like it. This is, again, one of those times where we're just trying to learn some things. Some of the time I do, well, I think I have some facts for this, but I think this video is pretty helpful. So I'm going to play this. Let me switch over to the video. This is on YouTube. I can do it. Let's see if we get sound or not. That will be the trick. Do we get sound? And there will be subtitles. I might comment a bit. It takes about 2.5 minutes, I think, to watch this. Here we go. Let's see if the sound is playing.
This owl is an ambush hunter. What makes her so deadly? She's not the fastest, but she has a different advantage. So you see these cute little guys, we think of them, they're hunters. That makes her lethal. Compare this owl to a falcon. Both animals are birds of prey, but they have really different strategies when it comes to hunting.
A hawk.
The falcon hunts when it's light out. He's incredibly fast. Some falcons fly up to 200 miles per hour.
Oh, I better warn you.
To be quiet. But
I should have. Let's see if I can show up here. I'm sorry. If there might be some disturbing things in here because they catch a few animals. So if you don't like to watch this, they're not going to like go crazy with it, but beware. Okay, here we go. I needed my disclaimer warning.
By the time prey hears them, it's already
These guys
too late.
again are tough. Tough.
But owls have another strategy. They hunt under the cover of darkness. They're sneaky.
See, they're sneaky.
She has incredibly
watch out, little
night
mouse
vision,
down there.
and she can zero in on the location of even the smallest noise. Air rushes
Fun to watch
over
them
her
fly
wings
like
as she
that. Look at
flies.
that.
In most
That
birds,
is
that's
pretty
noisy.
cool.
But with owls, there's almost no flapping sound, no rustling. It's quiet. Up close, you can see how she does it. Her feathers are velvety, soft.
Her feathers are pretty amazing. I guess that
past each other during flight,
keep them
dampen
quiet.
sound like a soft blanket. Compare that to falcon feathers. They're sleek and aerodynamic, but noisy as they slice through the air. And here's another thing. See those projections along the leading edge of the owl's wing, like a pointy comb? Those break up the wind as it flows over the top of the wing. The feathers at the trailing edge of the wing break up the wind even more. Compared to a falcon, these feathers look kind of jagged, right?
Well, they really are.
But that
Interesting.
jaggedness means almost no whooshing sound that would alert their prey.
I just wonder how we got to think
bigger,
that they're
wider
so
than a pointy
fun and
falcon wing.
lovable
So
and
they're slower,
cuddly,
but they have
and
more lift.
I can see why.
The owl doesn't need to flap them as often.
Okay,
Less
there he
flapping means
goes.
less noise. We often fear what's fast. Speed and danger seem to go hand in hand. But owls have given up on racing through the day to become champions of sneaking through the night.
I like looking just at their faces, their eyes. Pretty cool, huh? All right.
Okay, you're still there? Well, while
So
we show
there's
you
a
these
little bit
beautiful
of
shots
owl
feathers that didn't
information
make it onto
for
the
you.
story, I want to ask you a favor.
That stopped.
Subscribe.
Whoops.
You see
I think
that?
that's still playing. Let's stop that. It's just fun to learn different things about these. Let's see. I have my fun facts about owls. I'll switch over to that as well for you. Okay, 13 fun facts about owls. Here we go. I think I have it right here, so I don't have to look over there. It says many owls have asymmetrical ears. So I guess that means one ear is higher than the other, maybe? Is that what it means? It says their ears are able to pinpoint the location of sounds in multiple dimensions. Ready, aim, strike. So when located at different heights on the owl's head, I guess they can point their ear the way they want it to go. The eyes of an owl are not true eyeballs. This is a weird one. Their tube-shaped eyes are completely immobile. They're like binoculars. Ooh, that's interesting, huh? Are not true eyeballs. And then you know how an owl can rotate around. You've seen that. Excuse me. Owls can rotate their necks 270 degrees. I don't even think I can get my neck to go like barely 90. 270 degrees. Woo. Something they do with their blood helps so their circulation doesn't. A group of owls is called a parliament. Never heard of that before. Owls hunt other owls. That's what you get, right? If you're a naughty owl, you better watch out for the other owls. It says, in fact, owls are insanely good hunters. We watched that video there. The tiniest owl in the world is an elf owl, which is 5 to 6 inches. That is pretty tall. I mean, pretty small. So he's about, I'd say this is about 5 to 6 inches, about that height. And then the largest North American owl is the great gray owl, 32 inches tall, almost 3 feet. Woof. The northern owl can detect primarily by sight a vole to eat up to half a mile away. What is a vole? Does anybody know what a vole is? Is that kind of like a mouse or a rat or something like that? Who knows what a vole is? Who knows what a vole is? I feel like I've heard that, but I don't know what a vole is. Does anybody know what a vole is? Well, we looked at those already. Barn owls. Ooh, yuck. This is a gross one. Barn owls swallow their prey whole, skin, bones, and all. Yuck. They eat, how many mice do you think they eat a year? Up to 1,000. Whew. Not all owls hoot. Barn owls make hissing sounds. The eastern screech owl whinnies like a horse, and saw-whet owls sound like, well, an old, wet sharpening saw. Huh. I always thought they made that hoo-hoo-hoo sound correct. What else? I think that's it. They have 2 forward-facing toes and 2 backward-facing toes. Yuck. How would you like to have that? 2 toes facing the front and 2 facing the back. See, there's different things to learn about all these animals that I would have never thought of. Some weird facts today, right? Again, I hope I didn't disturb anybody with the other owl getting eaten by the owl we saw in the video, or to know that owls eat mice whole. Yuck. But it's a fact of life, correct? So in this die set, you get 2 dies. Again, it is from September of 2020. I know this was popular, and I think this might have came out even earlier. It might have been on HSN first, because I did see some photos of it like around 2018. But when I looked on our website, the first time I could find it was in, again, September of 2020. So it's possible you picked this up on HSN. If you have it, again, fall is kind of a fun time. You could use this any time of the year. But if you like fall card making, owls kind of fit for that. September, October, November-ish. So we're in that season right now. We're almost in December, but not yet. Then I have a handful of card samples here as well. Let's check them out. Again, 2 die sets, or 2 dies in this set. We'll look at the website here after we look at the samples I have. This is the main one that would come on the packaging. And let me switch over to that. Oh, he's a little small. What happened to my stand? I lost my stand. There we go. So this is an A2 size card as a fold it. Now you can use it just as a fold it like this, where it opens up. You could have the fold be on the side. You can add this to a card front. You can, like we've talked about, you could make banners with these owls. This will work with any of our fold its. Maybe you want to make a box card. That is possible. What else? You could add them to like a bulletin board if you're a teacher, or you have some kind of fun craft or a calendar or something, calendar page. You could add the little owl to that. This looks like a birthday owl. Again, I have a lot of them here, so I'm going to kind of crank through these. There's an example. He's on the fold is on the side. Fold here was on the top. You have different options, right, with the fold-its. Some nice variety of colors there. You can paper piece with this guy, and very, very fun, easy to use. Here it looks like he's been added to one of our grass dies there on the bottom. Some pattern papers. This is a kind of wild and crazy owl here with the side fold. And just think pattern papers. There's not any stamping or inking on this, so easy to create with. Here he is on a card front. Looks like that's an A2 size card base, a birthday card with our owl folded on the front. And again, just using pattern paper, some little embellishments to give them a little decoration sparkle added to that. Here's our wise owl. Looks like he's graduated school. That's a good way to use the owl. Got somebody smart in your family. They're graduating. Hoot, hoot, hooray, this one says. Another looks like graduation celebration. Here's a nice kind of fall-looking owl. That's the one I think of, coloring like that. And we're back to some different mixes of pattern papers. Lots you can do with this one. On a card front, happy birthday. Did it say happy birthday? Happy bird day. Get it? Get it? Bird. Oh, here's one for a teacher. That's a good combo. It says, ABC number 1 teacher, it takes a big heart to shape little minds. Let's check this one out. It makes nice for a teacher. It's got the little apple on there, little sign. Fun idea. And a couple more. Again, I told you we had a lot here. 2 more. This one says thanks. You could use them for a thanks card. Got the word thanks down there at the bottom. And then I'll always love you. Fun, fun, fun. Let's check out the website real quick. Whoops, that's not the website, is it? Let's see. No, that's not the website either. Somewhere the website's around here. There we go. So if you're on the website, you'll see the owl, and a lot of those ideas that I showed you will be right down here below. Again, it's 2 dies. Oh, yeah, here on the information it says as seen on HSN. So it's possible you might have picked this up on HSN, or if not, on our website, if it's already in your stash. Again, if you're new, it's available on the website. What is that? If you're looking for the item number, or if you just type in owl, it's going to pop up. There are a couple different owl items. So we have owls to love with the coordinating dies. There's an owl pudgy, and there you have like the back, couple envelope dies, and the box it die if you want to make a box it with it. So just type in owl. Excuse me. When you go on the Stamps of Life website, you'll definitely find it. And then you can scroll through. If you need a card idea, you can find them on here. And if you also go to our gallery page, there are items there. And look, here is an idea booklet. I haven't even checked this out, so let's see what is in here. Owl booklet folded. This must have came with the HSN shipment. So this is available. It looks like there's 12 pages in this book. Is it going to load? I don't know. Oh no. What's going on here? Hey, I don't see anything. Do you guys see anything? I'm going to try to refresh this. It says owl folded PDF, but I don't see anything. So I am going to check on that. Something is broke. I'll have somebody take a look at that and see if we can get that back. There's supposed to be a booklet there. So I apologize. That is not showing up. But there is the idea gallery. So that will help you out with a ton of ideas. But for some reason, the booklet is missing. So there's some extra ideas that we might not have seen here that I just showed you. So let me write a note so I can check out why is the... Hopefully we can get that booklet back on there. Sometimes things break on a website and you don't know about it unless somebody tells you. So I didn't know that until we just checked. Okay, we're going to head over to the die cutting table, and I'm going to take my dies with me. Okay, here we go. And again, if you want to just make a owl, you would. I had done this ahead of time. I knew things would be going a little bit long today, so I went ahead and I did do some die cutting ahead of time. Say if you were just making a owl for a card front, you would just run through with the outside die. Easy to do. If you wanted to be a fold it, you would. I can show you how to do that real quick. Fold your cardstock in half. And of course, normally we wouldn't make a white owl, but I just happen to be the cardstock colors I grabbed. We'll take that through. With a fold that you want to have that, the die just going a little over the edge there. and that will help us create the folding card. Hence, that's why it's called a fold it die set.
Of course, probably the best way to use this die set is as a fold it, but again, we've been talking about we have all those different options, different ways that you can use a die set like this, a fold it die set. So here you would have your owl, looking good. Pop out of there. He's got the fold. Great. But look at that straight line across his head. That's terrible. So this die, this one that we had run through before we started, you just layer that right on top. That gets rid of that straight line there. You just add some adhesive, attach it to the front, and there you go. So picture you brown or gray or some color that would be like now. Then you have the option. If you run this die through, and let's see, maybe I'll do something different. I have some foil paper here. And we'll run this through. This will give us our paper pieces. And let's see what happens when we do that. I haven't used foil to do paper piecing like this, but I might just give it a little bit different look. I'm going to move that to the edge. Maybe I want to save some of this foil for next time. If I move him a little bit towards that end, we'll use this part of the paper and save some paper for next time. Always good to try to get your money's worth right out of these, whatever paper you have, just by where you place your dice. Sometimes it can save you some nice scraps that you can use in the future. All right, let's see what we have created here. I should have a nice little tray or something. Maybe this will work. We have our owl there in different pieces. And we could have all of these different die cuts that were created by that piece, the inside die that we just ran through there. And I'm not going to hear everything, but if I had my card front there, I could add this right there. And I had run some through before. And we'll give him some crazy eyes or something like that. He's got his eyeballs there. I'd run this color as well through with the inside die with this one. And so I created a bunch of different cuts there. We're mixing them with these ones that we just ran through. And you can kind of paper piece. And so just think if you're using like pattern paper. Here I'm using foil paper. You have different options. Here, if I had some little black dots, I probably would rather have black eyes. That would probably look better, huh? So you can go with that. We could add his little wings on the side. So just imagine with paper piecing, using your different pattern paper pads, with some solids. You have a lot of different things you can kind of do. Here's my idea was just the two colors that I had created. If you do a few different colors, you're going to be able to decorate them however you want. It's really fun and easy to do when you have that inside die that gives you all these little pieces that you can work with. Now, if you like to color or ink, you can do that with your owl. Make them look really nice. But if you like to do some paper piecing and adhere and put them together, that way you have that option as well. Okay, that is the owl fold it on the Stamps of Life website, a few years old. Maybe something you already have. Could be. And I know owls are pretty popular. You might be able to create a really, really nice card with that. Oh, I did not set my alarm today, so I bet we're getting really late. Oh, 11:04. And the goal, of course, the goal is to be about 1 hour, which I don't think I've made it to be 1 hour yet. But I guess that just means we have a lot to talk about and a lot to cover. Oh, Karen says she hears an echo. Oh, yes, I see why, Karen. Sorry. I have my second mic on. Sorry about that. I think that will fix it. I apologize. It was not really my second mic, but there is a mic on that connected to the computer. I bet it was picking up. I hope it went away. Sorry about that. Deborah.
Did the echoing go away? I apologize. You leave just one button on, it can kind of goof it up. So I apologize. Okay, we're moving on. Again, all these items we talked about today are on the Stamps of Life website. Check it out. Don't forget about the Black Friday stuff. Better now, it's gone. Thank you. Sorry, when I was over there and I left the 2 mics on, I couldn't see the chat over here. So I didn't know that I was echoing. I basically have 5 different mic buttons that I can choose over here. If I just use one at a time, there won't be any echoing. But I left one on when we watched that video. So the sound was coming through there too. So I apologize. The idea book does open on the site, Grandelia says. Good. I don't know why it's not opening for me. So that's good. I'm on a Mac computer using a Chrome browser. I don't know why it wouldn't open, but Grandelia says it works. I'm going to try it on another computer to see if it works too. So you can see the idea. Great. Thanks for letting me know, Grandelia. Okay, if you have your Bible with you, if you would like to follow along with us, we're in Matthew chapter 15. You know, we've been making our way through the Gospel of Matthew and following along with Jesus. And this is about the middle of his ministry. And we are in chapter 15. Excuse me. If you want to follow along, 15 today. If you want to get ahead for next week, we'll be in chapter 16, reading chapter 16. Okay, today we are in 15, and I'll just give like a brief overview, and then we'll focus. Our focus will be on verses right there at the beginning of the chapter, verses 1 through 9. So for right now, we'll kind of skip verses 1 through 9, and we'll come back to that. And starting at verse 10 to 18, Jesus talks about how they were concerned with, how would you say, like outward things, defiling and corrupting people. But no, it's really the heart that is the problem, Jesus says, starting in verse like 10 through 18. So not necessarily what we eat or consume or things that we put into our bodies that could ever make us wrong with God, but there are problems within our hearts. And I don't know if you've ever been in that situation, like where, you know, like you did something and you weren't too proud of it, or you go, how could I ever do that? Or how could I ever think that? Or what would possess me to say those kind of words? We are born with a sinful nature. And that's just how we're wired now, because we live in a world that's kind of fallen and not the way things are supposed to be. So our real problem is what's inside us, and we need to ask God for help. So that's briefly that. God's Spirit working with our spirit. We need the power of God to change the things that are in our heart that aren't so good. So sometimes these things come out from what's inside in not a good way. That's what it says defiles us, corrupts us, causes problems for us. It's not necessarily the outward things, but the inward. Then this woman in verse, the next part, as we're verse 21, she comes in and she's asking Jesus for help. It says her daughter is says demon possessed. So her daughter is in a bad situation, and at first it seems like Jesus is not willing to help her. He says, I have come for the Jewish people, the people of Israel. She was a Gentile. And so he's kind of ignoring her, but she's persistent and she keeps asking for help. Even the disciples ask Jesus, send her away, like she's bothering us. But the story goes on, and she displays this great level of faith. And in the end, Jesus does answer her prayer and request, and her daughter is healed. Awesome. Then down to verse 30 and 31, there's all these people coming to Jesus with illnesses, sickness. It says some maimed, they're all healed. So whatever you could think of, any kind of problem that people were having back in these times, again, with limited medical care, Jesus was just touching them, healing them, caring for the people. It says here that he has compassion on people. In verse 32 through 35, they come across this group of people who are hungry again. That's a group of 4,000 men, plus women and children. They have 7 loaves of bread, a couple fish, and they feed them all. Miraculous. So we have these, that kind of gives us a general idea of the chapter. But we're going back to verse 15. Whoops, let me switch that out of here. We're not talking about owl folders anymore. So I have my passages for us. Let me hide that one, and so you can read and follow along. Again, if you have a Bible, great. You can mark up your Bible, or if you have an app or something on a tablet, on a phone, or again, like an iPad, something like that, you can follow along with this. But here it is. And let me see if I can. It says, then the scribes and the Pharisees who were from Jerusalem came to Jesus saying, why do your disciples transgress the traditions of the elders? For they do not wash their hands when they eat bread. And he answered and said to them, why do you also transgress the commandments of God because of your tradition? For God commanded, saying, honor your father and your mother. And he who curses father or mother, let him be put to death. Let me read on and switch to this one. But you say, whoever says to his father or mother, can I get rid of that? Whatever profit you might have received from me is a gift to God, then he need not honor his father or mother. Thus you have made the commandment of no effect by your tradition. Hypocrites, well did Isaiah prophesy about you, saying, these people draw near to me with their mouth and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. And in vain they worship me, teaching as doctrines the commandment of men. So here's what was going on. These religious people, the people who are kind of giving Jesus a hard time, they had started to create their own traditions, basically making laws and putting them on people. Their question here was, Jesus, why are your disciples not following our rules? And Jesus said, hey, you know what? You've made all these extra things that are not actually, these extra rules, these extra laws that are not actually helping people get closer to God, but they're actually taking people away from God. And as we had read before, it's not the outward thing. So their question was, well, why do your disciples not wash their hands according to the traditions? Jesus says it's really not that important whether your hands are clean or not. But he says you start to make these traditions really, really important. But at the same time, as you have these traditions, you're not obeying God. And so here's what he challenged them about. The issue was, in this time, one of the commandments was, from the 10 commandments, was that God said, honor your mother and your father, right? Honor your parents. And that was a commandment from God. So the people should have been very in tune to, hey, I'm supposed to honor my mom and dad. Well, they had this, now they have this tradition. So say you're a son or a daughter, you're making a living and you have a certain amount of wealth or possessions, but you didn't want to share it with your mom or dad. Maybe your mom and dad, they had a bit of a need and maybe they came to you asking for some help. And their tradition with this thing that they had made up was they said, oh no, you know what? My house or the money I have dedicated it to God. And now that I've dedicated it to God, this was the tradition, I don't have to help you with it. So they had created this tradition that they were following. And in doing so, they were no longer keeping the commandment that God had asked them to do. And this is just one particular issue, but this keeps coming up where they start adding and creating these laws and these rules that are contrary to God's commands. What are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to follow a tradition of man, or are we supposed to follow God's word? What would you guys say? We're supposed to follow what God says, right? Let me find my comments here. We want to obey God. We don't want to be in the situation where we're disobeying God so we can keep the rules of people. So this was what a problem that they were having back in that time. But think of, I don't know if you guys go to church right now or you are involved with the church. There's some churches that have added like extra rules. And I'm not like picking on any group or anything, but these are just things that I've heard. Like the churches I have gone to, I haven't encountered this, but some churches have dress codes. You have to come dressed in like a suit or a dress, or maybe for women, you're supposed to wear a hat, or maybe for guys, no hats are allowed. Maybe it's a church where there's no makeup for women, or maybe at this certain church you're not allowed to dance, or maybe one of the rules is no smoking. Of course, you wouldn't want to smoke at the church, right? But they've added these extra rules. Maybe no drinking. Now, all of these things, some of these things can be good for us or not so good for us, but we're adding these extra rules, and these traditions are supposed to make us better Christians, but that's really not so. That is not correct. By adding these extra rules, these expectations of us, it actually keeps people away from God. So say somebody just maybe who smokes, but their church says, hey, if you smoke, you're sinning and you're not going to go to heaven. You're not going to have a relationship with God. Well, does it ever say that in the Bible, that smoking would keep you away from God or keep you out of heaven? No, it doesn't. Now, is smoking necessarily good for you or healthy? Probably not, right? It's probably not good for most of our bodies. So with wisdom, we would want to, take care of our bodies a better way. But these traditions, these extra rules, they're not benefiting us. They're not drawing us closer to God. So what we want to do is, we want to find ways to obey God, and just by simply obeying, to me, it comes always down to two commandments: to love God and to love people. Those are the things that primarily God wants us to do. Now, we have the 10 commandments, and that kind of fills in, well, what does it mean to love people? Of course, I'm not going to murder them or hate them. I'm not going to lie to them or steal from them. So you see how it kind of fills in. But none of these extra rules, outside extra things, traditions of men, they're not going to make us right with God. And maybe, we need some help. And as far as we want to do what's right, and we want to obey God, and we want to do the things that please Him. But some of the time there's things I don't like. This was the one thing I was really thinking about when we talked about this. Is there, for you guys, for me, is there one command, or not necessarily command, is there one thing that you feel like God is calling you to do? Even right now, there's something that's been on your mind or in your heart recently that I think God wants me to do this, and yet we're kind of fighting it, resisting it. Does that ever happen to you? I know that happens to me some of the time, where I feel like God wants me to do something, but I'm not necessarily taking the steps to obey His commands. And remember how we want to obey God. We're not worrying about the traditions of men, but we want to obey God. Now, if we're refusing to do what God wants us to do, then that's a sign that something is wrong, correct? We want to be obeying God. We want to keep God's commands. So whatever that thing might be for you, maybe it's to forgive somebody. Maybe it's to reach out to a neighbor, just being friendly or kind to somebody. Maybe it's inviting somebody to church. Maybe it's calling up somebody. If there's something like that that you feel like God is asking you to do, or maybe it's something hard or more challenging, maybe it's really changing something about your life. I know there's been situations for me, like in life, where I felt like I need to change things or make a difference. And until I did that, I felt like things kind of were held up with God. Now, it's not always easy to make those corrections or to make those changes. But the thing is, God will come along and He will help us. He will help us. And we just need to get in contact with Him and say, God, help me. I can't do this by myself. He'll give us the strength and the ability to step out and do whatever He's commanded us to do. Maybe it's, again, a challenging thing, or maybe it's just something really small. But as we take those steps to obey God, He's going to do even more and more things in our life. Then we might fix that one thing or get that one thing corrected, and then God might want to work on something else in our life. But to be a sign that we are Christians and that we're following Jesus, we don't want to worry about these extra things that God doesn't, put the traditions, the expectations on us, but we want to be obeying Him and doing the things that we know according to the scriptures that He wants us to do. So it's super important to be obeying God. And then it's really, really important that we're not in the position where we feel like God's asking us to do something, we don't do it. If I'm in that position, if I'm refusing to do what God has asked me to do, it starts to bring into question, am I really following Jesus? And then what's even more important, that could impact my my eternal destination. I want to make sure I end up in heaven. I hope you guys are like that. Do you guys want to end up in heaven? And it's not based on our works or all the things we do, but let's be making sure that we're not in that danger zone where I wonder, oh gosh, I don't do the things that God wants me to do. I don't keep his commands. I don't obey him. I'm not stepping out like I think he wants me to. And we don't want to be in that wishy-washy area where there's not 100% certainty that we're connected with God. We want to be the kind of people who obey him and do the things he asks us to do. Then as we are loving God and walking with him, then we can have that security that our eternal destination is secure, our place in heaven, to be with God for ever and ever. That's what we want, right? That's really what we want. So it's just important when we think about that, the commands here, these guys were just saying, you're not right with God because you don't follow our rules. Well, Jesus is saying, the way to be right is just obey God and do what he asks you to do. So maybe there's that one thing that God is asking you today. Can you think of it? Does it come to mind? Is it on your heart? Go ahead and step out and do that, and then see what God will do in your life. And if it's a kind of a hard thing, one of the things I learned of when I finally stepped out and did it, it just like really frees you. And you go, wow, I could do that. Or God gave me the strength to do something I thought I couldn't do. And it empowers us to do more and more and more and get more and more connected to him in the future. And it allows us to be used more and more by God. We want that, right? To be used by God. Okay, that will wrap it up for today. I hope that God will bless all of you with a great day. And it was great sharing this time together. I'll be back again next Tuesday. Again, no crafting corner this week. Next week, we'll do Matthew 16. I'll have I don't even know what's on the slate, but we'll have some dies, some stamps, something fun to look at. We'll have a good time again next Tuesday. I want to wish all of you a happy and awesome Thanksgiving. Enjoy the day. Eat lots of turkey and save lots of leftovers. I think our leftovers usually last for a few days. We'll be eating Thanksgiving stuff maybe for the weekend, and then we'll be like done with it for another year. It's funny, we get all this build up for Thanksgiving, a big super meal, eat it for a few days, and then we don't even bother eating it anymore throughout the year. Don't you think that's kind of funny? Okay, what else? I think that is it. Thanks again. I had a fun time here today. I hope you guys had fun. Kind of learned some weird stuff, but we kind of learned some interesting things today. I'll try to hopefully I'll have a quiz next week. Whatever we come up with, we'll have one of those quizzes. I think that was fun when we did that last week. What else? That is a wrap as far as I know. I can't think of anything else. I think I've covered everything. I hope that you feel blessed by God today. Remember how we talked at the beginning of this video that you're special and that you're important to God. You are like one of a kind, super unique. And God really, really values you. You're like a special treasure to him. So I hope you know that. And again, let's view all the people around us. This is the harder part. Let us remember that all the people around us are really special to God. So let's treat them that way too. Okay, I'm going to take off. Have a happy, great day, wonderful day. Take Two Tuesday, we are done. What episode was this? 47. We're almost to 50 episodes. Wow, we are moving along. Okay, I am out of here. If I can find my closing banner, I think I can. Take care, all of you. I'll see you next week. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye-bye.